The Open's 5-week journey is coming to an end. In Boston, Rich Froning edged out Matt Fraser in 15.1.
Froning is going to take it by 3 reps.
The following week, Emily Bridgers outlasted Michelle Letendre in a repeat workout.
That was absolutely amazing.
Julie Fouché and Lauren Brooks went head-to-head in Chicago in 15.3, with Fouché out-dueling Brooks in a diabolical triplet.
There is number 500 for Julie Fouché.
Up in the Pacific Northwest, Josh Bridges and Scott Panchik faced off in a rematch of 14.4.
Scott Panchik will take 15.4.
Tonight, it's the final stop, Las Vegas, Nevada. Dave Castro deals out the final hand of the Open, and the Queens are wild. 3 former champions set to roll the dice. Will it be jackpot or bust? 15.5, the final workout of the Open, is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the announcement of Open Workout 15.5 presented by Progenics. Hey guys, I'm your host, Rory McKernan, and we're live from America's Playground, Las Vegas, Nevada. Go ahead, Vegas! It's a very special night, as you can see. It's just me and 800 of my closest friends here at CrossFit Max Effort. And in the house, in addition to the 3 women competing tonight, we have every single CrossFit Games champion on the female side in the history of the sport. Now while the CrossFit Games has evolved in terms of size and competition, the esteem of the title fittest on earth has been unchanged.
Since it all started, being crowned CrossFit Games champion has meant being the fittest on earth. Just like the sport itself, what it takes to reach the pinnacle has evolved. In 2007, it was just a hopper workout, a trail run, and CrossFit Total. Those 3 events, along with beer and a barbecue on a ranch in Aromas, would kick off a fitness phenomenon.
Yeah, it's nothing like being outside in the dirt up your nose and the concrete scraping your hands up.
As the games grew, so did the challenges. Top athletes elevated the women's competition to unforeseen heights.
It was just all about having fun, and like it was so weird because compared to basketball where I knew everybody, I knew no one. So it was like, let's go out there, have fun, and see how crazy this thing can get.
By 2009, the games had gone global, with an international field of athletes inspiring a new level of fitness.
This girl from Iceland comes out of nowhere representing her country and just keeps talking about how she's so proud to be here and representing her country when I didn't even know Iceland knew about CrossFit, yet alone any other parts of the world but the US.
1 year later, the games had outgrown their humble beginnings, as well as the confines of that dusty ranch in Aromas. The StubHub Center in Carson, California became ground zero for the CrossFit community's biggest party.
1 year we were in the dirt in Aromas with the freshly poured concrete, and then the next year we go to the Home Depot Center and it's like going from the sandbox to going to college.
These champions not only proved to be the fittest women on earth, but they also helped propel the sport of fitness to unprecedented heights.
You cannot have anything that you cannot do now.
It blew my mind how hard it could actually be, but it was also the coolest moment of my life at that point.
And I'm just anxious to see what's going to come the next 5 years.
CrossFitters, please help me in welcoming our first 4 CrossFit Games champions. From 2007, Jolie Gentry. From 2008, Katie Henniger. 2009 champ, Tanya Wagner. And the 2010 champion, Kristen Clever. These women were pioneers in the sport, and they helped drive what was possible. Guys, let's give them one more round of applause. Your first 4 female champions. Now, since 2010, the games have gone global, and our last 3 champions hail from Iceland, the United Kingdom, and Canada. All 3 of them are here tonight to put an exclamation point on the 2015 Open and give us a preview of things to come this year in Carson.
If you're betting on who will win the 2015 Reebok CrossFit Games, the smart money is on one of the 3 women who are here in Vegas tonight. Each has stood on top of the podium in Carson. Each looks more than ready to do it again.
I want to gain it back. I know I can do it now, so I think that that's a big thing to have in your back pocket.
I have everything it takes to win the games again. I'm going to go into it with that mindset.
I am going to be back at the games and I want to be on that podium.
While they are all safe bets, each of these women have question marks. Can Camille Leblanc-Bazinet handle the pressure that goes along with being the defending champ? Can Thorisdottir return to the form that led her to back-to-back titles of CrossFit Games champion? Can Sam Briggs overcome the hole in her game that last year prevented a chance to defend her crown?
Tonight I will be going out hard and showing that even though I've been injured, I'm still in the running and I still mean business.
My motivation has changed throughout the years, and I think I appreciate what I'm doing more, and I think about what I'm doing in a different way.
I totally feel pressure now. I mean, you're number 1. Everyone is chasing you. It's also good pressure that I like because it keeps me accountable, keep me very hungry. I like that the other girl think about me.
Tonight, this matchup is sure to be a sign of things to come. And by July, the stakes will get much higher for the ultimate prize, the title Fittest on Earth.
I'm going to be going head to head against 2 phenomenal athletes who've both previously won the games as well. There's going to be people here screaming, there's going to be lights, there's going to be cameras, there's going to be thousands of people at home all watching. So this is where I can't mess up. This is where I have to go hard.
Obviously, even though it's fun, I still want to beat the girls when I go head to head. Like, I'm not going to go soft.
The only thing I know and that I'm getting ready in my head is that it's going to hurt so bad. We're going to all go there, and it's going to be ugly.
3 champions. 1 last workout. Place your bets.
The only woman to have stood on top of the podium at the CrossFit Games more than once, your 2011-2012 champion, Thorisdottir.
She's known for her engine, biceps, and being one of the coolest CrossFitters out there. Your 2013 CrossFit Games champ, Samantha Briggs.
Your current leader in the 2015 Worldwide Open Leaderboard, the 2014 and reigning CrossFit Games champion, Camille Leblanc-Bazinet.
For the announcement of Open Workout 15.5, the director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro.
27, 27, 21, 21, 15, 15, 9, 9. Calories on a rower, Thrusters, 95 pounds for the men, 65 pounds for the women. 4 time is 15.5.
Hey, at least there's no burpees. One thing's for certain, this is going to hurt. But guys, it's the last one. The end is in sight. Let's put our heads down and get there. We got a short break now, but don't go away. When we come back, we'll cover standards and have all the live action from 15.5 next.
Our goal is fitness. Our goal is to increase your work capacity across broad time and modal domains. That's the goal. What happens outside of fitness far exceeds anything you ever knew was possible. And what CrossFit's done is it's taught me to be more open-minded, to be humble, to know that there's always going to be someone that needs your help and somebody that will help you. I can't think of any better position in the world than being a mentor to this community.
Yeah, she's last I seen her, she was down there getting ready for her host show.
Welcome back to CrossFit Max Effort and CrossFit HQ's continued live coverage of 15.5. Now, before the break, we learned these 3 champions face a brutal couplet, rowing and thrusters for time. Now, it's Vegas, but still, we've got rules. So for 15.5 to count, it needs to look like this.
For the row, the athlete may begin in the seated position, but may not grab the handle until the call of go. The athlete must remain seated with their hands on the handle until their display clearly reads the appropriate number of calories for the round they are completing. At the beginning of each round, the monitor on the rower must be reset to 0 calories. Every repetition of the thruster must have the athlete pass below parallel where the hip crease is clearly below the top of the knee and finish with the athlete fully locked out overhead with the arms, hips, and legs extended. Your score for this workout will be the amount of time it takes you to complete all the work.
So the workout's straightforward, but please do take note. Every time you return to the rower, the monitor has to be set back to 0 before you start rowing. Your judge can help you with that, so strategize appropriately. Also, this is for time with no time cap. You'll do all 144 reps. Okay, the full standards are on games.crossfit.com. Go there if there's any confusion. And please join us for the show. It's our last one. You can tweet us using the hashtag CrossFit Games, and we'll try and get you in there. Right now, I'm joined by our broadcast team calling the action tonight, Mr. Sean Woodland and the 2009 champ, Tanya Wagner. Sean, we know the workout. What do you make of 15.5?
Well, first of all, someone who thinks burpees should be outlawed, I'm happy I don't have to do those. I mean, the rest of it is going to suck. Secondly, I love the fact that it's for time. We're all doing 72 thrusters and 72 calories. And finally, I don't know if there's a clear-cut favorite right here. You can make a legitimate argument as to why each woman here could win this thing.
Well, Tanya, let's talk about that. 3 amazing women. Who does this one favor in your opinion?
You know, it appears that this event is Sam's to lose, but I'm going to watch Annie because she's looking for redemption. Last year's 14.5 open announcement didn't go her way. She came in last out of 5 champions. She doesn't want that to happen tonight.
Okay, so this is just 1 out of 5 open workouts. It's a long season, but what's the implication of one of these women taking a W here?
If Camille wins it, it's huge because it obviously clears the way for her to win the Open overall. But for a lot of people at home who are on that bubble in their regions trying to make it to the next step, this is huge because you're going to get very familiar with this workout over the next couple of days, possibly doing it 2, 3, 4 times, depending on how sadistic you are.
Yeah, but even more than the Open, it's bigger than that. This stage is unlike any other out there, and the pressure is real. So whoever can suffer and endure that pain tonight in this pressure, I think it's just an indication of who we might see recrowned at the games.
All right, well, we're just about a minute away, so we're going to see it soon. You guys got to go up to the booth, have fun tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost time for the action. 3 champions, 2 movements, 1 last workout for the countdown to the action. I give the floor to Dave Castro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who gave us this methodology and the man who gave us the tools to change the world, Coach Greg Glassman. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go.
The final workout of the 2015 Reebok CrossFit Games Open is underway. Sam Briggs, Camille Leblanc-Bazinet, and Annie Thorisdottir taking on 15.5. And Tanya, I want to give you a chance to expand on something that you said with Rory. You would think this is Sam's to lose, given what she's done on a rower, given last year when we saw her at 14.5, just maul the barbell. But do you like Annie Thorisdottir here?
I do because, you know, Annie is so fast and efficient on that barbell as well. All the girls are, but Annie knows how to put that bar over her head fast, but also Annie has the weight advantage. Sam, I talked to her last night. She's down pounds because she hasn't been lifting as heavy. She's only 135 right now. So Annie has about 15 pounds on her, and I think that's going to help Annie on the row here.
And what about Camille Leblanc-Bazinet? Why is she an underdog here?
All right, Camille's a little shorter than the other girls, which is beneficial for that thruster. She's going to be very fast. However, Camille, sometimes when she goes at speed, she loses reps, either overhead not locking out or going to depth. She's definitely cleaned that up, but that's my fear for her. Is if she gets going a little too fast and going at the other women's pace, she may get no rep, and she can't afford that.
Keep your eye on the top of the screen. The women's name who's highlighted in blue will be your leader. And Annie Thorisdottir first off the rower, but right behind her is Sam Briggs. 54 total reps here in round number 1. 27 thrusters at 65 pounds for Thorisdottir, and Camille Leblanc-Bazinet still on the rower, 3 calories away from hitting that 27 mark.
And Sean, this is what I expected to see. Annie is going to come out on fire, and this is going to be a quick workout. For Sam Briggs, she has an engine. She can go the long haul, but she doesn't have that advantage in this workout for that long distance to make any ground up on Annie, or if she gets behind.
Camille Leblanc-Bazinet in the middle of your screen in the purple shorts and yellow top, now joining the other 2 women on the barbell, and this is where she can make up some ground possibly.
She knows she needs to here, and you know, she expected to see movements that weren't in her favor. You know, she said last night, is it going to be burpees, is it going to be box jumps or rowing? None of them are in my favor when I look at my competition, and she knew that. She looked very composed on the rower, did what she had to do. The rower is a really mean machine if you go too hard, and Camille's a smart athlete. She knows that, so here's where she has to make it up.
Sam Briggs with the red headband with the barbell down first, and Annie Thorisdottir is right behind her. 21 total calories now on the rower before they return to the barbell, and Camille Leblanc-Bazinet has fallen into 3rd place. 2.5 minutes gone by here in the final live open announcement of 2015, and we have the past 4 champions here participating in this workout. Annie Thorisdottir won in 2011 and 2012. Sam Briggs won in 2013, and then Camille Leblanc-Bazinet, your defending champion after winning last year.
Now, one note, just to mention, is Sam has not been running a lot because of her injury. So she's been doing a lot more on the assault bike, on the rower. So she's very comfortable, and just notice how relaxed she is here. She's not letting Annie's speed even fluster her. So I think Annie knows she needs to stay ahead of her because of how relaxed Sam is.
Sam Briggs very deliberate on that rower, as is Annie Thorisdottir, as the two of them are still locked in a battle for first place. Camille Leblanc-Bazinet slightly behind them, about 8 calories now in Thorisdottir. At 20 calories, Sam Briggs now has taken the lead, and Thorisdottir trying to get that one last calorie before she unhooks from the rower. And now it's Sam Briggs who has taken over first place. 96 reps on the scoreboard will signify the end of round 2.
And you notice the girls are using a lot of upper body. It's so much legs on the rower that here with 65 pounds, it's not that heavy that you have to use as much of your hips. Probably smart to save your hip here and use a lot of the press. You can see Annie on the top of your screen is doing a lot of upper body there, just pressing that bar overhead.
And here comes Camille Leblanc-Bazinet, who has fallen into a significant hole behind both Sam Briggs and Annie Thorisdottir. Briggs now has about a 5 to 6 rep lead on Annie Thorisdottir, and Briggs hits that 96 mark, and she is back to the rower for 15 calories.
And this is where we know Sam can endure that pain. She can go to that pain cave, and it's almost as if she doesn't feel it. You never see a difference in her speed. She just looks really composed and really manages that pain well.
Annie Thorisdottir getting into the rower and getting started on her round of 15 calories. Sam Briggs now up to 4 calories. It's the number that's second to last on that display there on her rower, if you're unfamiliar with the Concept 2 rowing machine. And now Camille Leblanc-Bazinet, who, let's keep the big picture in mind here, doesn't have to really win this workout to lock anything up. Barring a disaster, she's going to win the whole Open.
Yeah, and you know what, Sean? Actually, psychologically, I'm going to say on this one, as her coach, if I'm her coach, I'd say take the loss on this one. Let's do it here. Let's get that out of the way. Then you can focus on the games. This actually will take a little pressure off of her as win, 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 and let her come back and say, you know what? That was just one event.
15 calories down for Sam Briggs, and now 15 thrusters. 126 will be the end of round 3, and then it's back for 9 calories and 9 final thrusters. We're past the 5.5-minute mark here in 15.5, live from CrossFit Max Effort in Las Vegas, Nevada.
And she is moving with speed, still so under control.
Now Annie Thorisdottir to the barbell, and she is going to have to work very quickly here to reel in Sam Briggs, who has kept a steady pace from the beginning of this workout. And now Briggs is done and back for her final 9 calories.
And this is it. I think she just made that gap so big now with Annie. Annie has her work cut out for her, and I just don't know if she has enough in the tank to get back to that rower and do what she has to for those 9 calories.
Camille Leblanc-Bazinet, meanwhile, has finished her 15 calories and now is working on her 15 thrusters. But there's your leader, Sam Briggs, trying to hold off Annie Thorisdottir. And now Thorisdottir back to the rower for 9 calories, and she's going to have to pull extremely hard here to catch Briggs, who is down to her final 3.
And this is what's just so impressive with Briggs is, you look at Annie's face. You can see it. You can see Camille's face. There's pain there. And really, Sam has not changed her facial expression at all. Incredible.
Here comes Sam Briggs, her final 9 repetitions, trying to lock up the victory here at CrossFit Max Effort in Las Vegas, Nevada. Annie Thorisdottir looking like she will settle into second place, and it's Camille Leblanc-Bazinet who will be third. 5 to go for the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games champion. Will win 15.5.
What a way to come out with an injury and all, just showing us what she can do.
7 minutes, 0.4 seconds. And now Annie Thorisdottir, her final 9 thrusters. Camille Leblanc-Bazinet working on her final 9 calories. And there's the patented Iceland Annie smile. I don't know how she can do that at the end of this workout.
This one's going to hurt.
Annie Thorisdottir is done, locking up second place, and here comes her defending 2014 Reebok CrossFit Games champion, being cheered on by Samantha Briggs. 9 final thrusters for Camille Leblanc-Bazinet. And that will signify the end of the first round of 15.5 here. And it's official. 15.5 is done at CrossFit Max Effort in Las Vegas, Nevada. And Samantha Briggs, known for those guns, and she just fired a clear warning shot across Camille Leblanc-Bazinet's bow. She is coming for her title.
And I'll tell you what a threesome right there. My word, that was incredible. And to see the other two women just looking at how much pain they were in, and we know the level of fitness they're at, it just scares me.
Final results: Samantha Briggs, 7 minutes and a little bit of change. Annie Thorisdottir behind her. Camille Leblanc-Bazinet gets inside the 8-minute mark.
And you know, Annie came out really fast on that rower, and she had just that speed that she was first to the bar, but it was too hard, too much, that Briggs just kept her pace, kept the blinders on, and went at her own speed, nice and methodical. She has the lungs, she knew what she could do. She made the move on her, making it back to the rower first after that first set of 27, and really never changed her pace or her speed or that facial expression throughout the entire duration.
Extremely focused throughout this whole event. And it's Samantha Briggs who sends the message, getting clearly out in front here and then running away with this event. Samantha Briggs locking up the win, and this is where she lacked.
And you know, that was Camille stayed in her pace as well. That's what she had to do in this workout. But it just shows the speed that Sam wanted this. She came out hungry. You heard her earlier. She is hungry to get back, and she wants to show everybody she's ready.
A convincing win from Samantha Briggs, and she is standing by with Rory McCurry.
Sam, you were second off the rower, but you stuck to your pace and it came through. Did you have a strategy, and did that get in your head?
No, it didn't get in my head. Annie's like same height as me, so rowing, like cadence and stuff's pretty similar. So I knew that I'd be hitting the calories around the same as Annie. And I knew Camille had come out smoking on the thrusters. So as much as I was hurting from the rower, I knew I had to go unbroken. Otherwise, one of those two would catch me. And it hurt.
Now you had a much different Open this year. Started slow, you're finishing in an amazing fashion. How is it different from last year?
Normally I like to at least try and win the Opens, but the first week it was try and actually stay in the Opens. So just coming off a back injury, so it's nice to come out here and show that my gas tank hasn't suffered. I might not be able to lift heavy, but I've still got my engine.
Right on, and you were clearly fired up at the end of the workout. How much does it mean to come out and perform like this tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody's the same. Everybody's fired up. It's the Opens, it's 2015. We all want to show what we're capable of doing. And these two are two of the best in the world. So it's an honour to throw down with those two in front of all these people.
It was an amazing job. What do you guys think? Sam Briggs, guys, give it up.
So a banged up Sam Briggs is still Sam Briggs, and she is going to be a force to be reckoned with as the season progresses.
Even with the intense pressure on her, she's just showing that injury is not holding her back. She's ready for regionals, and she's ready to get back to the podium.
Nearly 275,000 of us are now going to attack this workout, and obviously we're not going to make it look like that. So with some advice on how we can get our best score possible in 15.5, Rory McKernan is standing by with Nicole Carroll, the Director of Certification and Training for CrossFit.
Nicole, these guys just threw themselves headlong into that workout. They made it into what was really a sprint. What should the rest of us be doing for 15.5?
Man, you're not kidding. These guys really did make it look like a sprint. Chances are it's not going to quite look that way when we do it. We're going to have to find a little better pacing with it. For starters, no brainer, no going 100% on the row. Not smart. What you need to do is pace yourself on the 27 and the 21. Then, if you've got more in the tank, drive harder on those 15s and 9s. Try setting that damper just a little higher than you normally do when you're rowing for distance. And of course, get your ass into every pull. Drive hard through the heels and the legs after the catch. All of this gets you a little more calorie credit per pull, and you definitely want that on this workout. Now, You can't blow it out there, though, because we have some thrusters to do. And with these puppies, you get to use exactly the same muscle groups you did before, but this time with the benefit of going overhead. I bet you're not going to want to pick up the bar, but pick it up anyway. Get it to the front rack, get some reps. This is that place where you often have more in the tank than you think you do, and that's that mental toughness piece. And 15.5 is all about pushing through even when your lungs and your legs are screaming at you. Finally, don't blow a whole bunch of wasted heat and energy into the universe with core to extremity violations. Commit now to moving well then, even while fatigued. 15.5 is an awesome opportunity for all of us to finish this open season strong. Make sure you leave nothing in the tank. Give everything you have to give. Go get them, and good luck.
Thanks, Nicole. There's a plethora more of educational material on CrossFit's Facebook page, so go check that out before you hit the workout. Otherwise, that's a wrap from Vegas. In just a few minutes, Dave Castro, the director of the games, will sit down with these three amazing athletes on the cool-down show. We hope you can join us for that. And then before I let you guys go, there's some special thank yous I got to give out. First, to Las Vegas, Nevada, and CrossFit Max Effort. You guys were amazing, and all of the affiliates who hosted us over the last 5 weeks and made us feel at home while we were on the road. You guys took this thing to a whole new level. And then, of course, you guys, the CrossFit community. In our 5th year, the Open is bigger and we're more fitter than ever. You guys are what make the CrossFit Games special, so thank you guys. Now, the Open's coming to a close. Regionals are right around the corner, though, and we'll be at the CrossFit Games crowning the fittest on earth before we know it. So, of course, I'll see you there. But until then, for one more week, I'll see you on the leaderboard. Good night.
The Open has come to its end.
5 seconds to go, and Froning is going to take it.
And Emily Bridgers, she will get the win.
Julie Boucher takes 15.3 in dominant fashion.
Scott Panchett will take 15.4.
Next, the proven advance to the second stage of the CrossFit Games season, the Regionals. And 2015 features a whole new format where regions will battle head-to-head for a chance to go to the Games. Nothing is guaranteed. Every trip must be earned. 3 weekends in May, 8 regional events, each with 5 spots up for grabs. Only the top 40 men, women, and teams will advance to the ultimate proving grounds in Carson, California. Do not miss it. Tickets on sale March 30th at games.crossfit.com.
I think that it's about progress and not perfection, and the CrossFit community supports me on this adventure, because that's what this ultimately is to me. I guess knowing that I'm not alone on this journey holds me accountable. I have made the best friends of my life through the course of my journey. At the end of the day, I want to be a better person than I was yesterday, and this community is the catalyst for that.
Talk to them. We might have talked about the rest of this. Questions after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the Cool Down Show. We are live from CrossFit Max Effort in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm your host, Rory McKernan, and I'll say it now because I may never get to say this again in my life. I'm sitting on a couch sipping Cristal with 3 female CrossFit Games champions, Annie Thorisdottir, Sam Briggs, and Camille Leblanc-Bazinet, as well as Dave Castro. And Dave, I understand you want to talk about this workout first. What's the deal with 15.5?
Really, the challenge here isn't the 2 movements. The challenge is in between the ears. And this test, more than anything else, is designed to be a mental challenge. And what that is, you can always row harder, but are you going to? You can always hold on to the bar for a few more reps, but are you going to? Right now when you're sitting here, I heard Annie actually talking about that. You want to expand on how you felt during the workout?
Well, it was actually like, I knew that Sam was going to be strong in the rower, so I wanted to keep up with her in the row. I knew that Camille was going to be faster in thrusters, so I was like, I need to be ahead of her on the thrusters. So I went pretty fast on the 27, 21. Then I came to the rower for the 15. I was like, oh my God, I have nothing left. But I was like, it's only 15. You need to just push through it. And I just, no way, I'm going to slow down here with these people.
For sure.
So,
and Cammy, you got to talk about it because your face doing your 15 thrusters was a pain face I've never seen before. Talk about that. Is that the crux of the workout? Is that the round where it's the hardest?
I think for the thruster, yes. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to do it, so I closed my eyes and I just tried to remove my own self of the workout. I was like, maybe if my eyes are closed, I'm not here anymore. But I was still doing the rep.
That's the dark place you like to go to.
I went there.
So Sam, is it about the rower? Is it about the thrusters?
I think it's a combination of both, really. Thrusters are a hard movement. Obviously, it composes of the squat and you're going shoulder to overhead. So it's involving everything in your body. And then the rower gasses you at the same time as taxing everything in your body. So these two are both beasts. They're going to go out hard. So I had no choice. I had to go hard on the row. And as much as those thrusters hurt, I knew that I couldn't put the bar down because one of them would take me.
Sure. Dave.
The big hip opening with the pull combined with the big hip opening with the push, it's a beautiful pairing. And you know, this is one of those workouts when you read it and when you announce it or when you say it, the initial reaction for people is like, oh, big deal. But you know what? Like, it's what happens during that. If you say big deal, you're not going to push hard enough on this workout. You need to push harder. You need to go to a place that is very uncomfortable. What they did was very impressive. 90% of the people in here should not look at this and go, I'm going to do that unbroken. 90% of the people in here will have to break, just like me, we're going to have to break up every round of thrusters. And it's going to be exciting to see the men, the bigger guys, on the rower. You know, the difference from Khalifa, Froning, Frazier, and these top guys, Panchik, Bailey, these top guys putting out a great score is going to come down to the rower. They're all going to get the thrusters unbroken, the top guys, but it's going to be who can go to that pain cave, who can really, really rip on the rower and keep it composed. This one excites me. I really like this workout.
Well, let me ask everybody this. Do you think that's the upper limit? Could you redo it and do better? Because we looked at this, and I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, yeah, these women are probably doing about 5 minutes. And when we passed 5 minutes, you guys were on the round of 15, and I was like, oh, I'm screwed. Like, we thought you guys would be done with it then. Is this as fast as it can be?
I think it was hard in this setting as how hot it was, so your mouth dried out quicker, but I think we all moved pretty fast. I mean, I think, yes, it's possible for somebody to go faster. I'm quite a good rower, but somebody who's taller than me or with a little bit more weight on me can pull those calories faster. They'll also be heavier on the bar, so hopefully they'll be able to move the thruster weight a little bit easier. So yes, it will be possible, but can that person who's a little bit bigger stay within their gas limits?
So the answer is no.
Well,
I don't think we'll see many times faster than hers and these guys, gals here.
I think though, like every time you do a workout that you haven't done, you always learn new thing about yourself. So if I do this workout again, I know like the score I just put out, I know I did everything unbroken, so now I'm just going to go a little bit faster. So I do think that you can go faster by redoing it, and it's just because you extend the margin of your experience, so you adapt and you get better.
Okay. And Camille, will you? You're ahead of everyone right now. If you drop, it's unlikely you'll drop out of first, but in what scenario would you redo the workout?
If I drop out of first.
Okay.
But I have a weightlifting meet this weekend, and I have a lot of school stuff, so to be honest, I'll just see if I have the time or if I feel like I have to.
Okay. I'm interested in this. If any of you guys are intimate enough with the rower, you can't look at your 500 splits when you're in calories. Do you guys do calories enough to where you knew what that pace should be on the monitor?
Yes.
Say again?
You can look at your calories per hour.
But are you used to that enough to where you knew, you were familiar with what you wanted to be pulling?
I know roughly what sort of number I need to be between.
We did the workout where we had the 50 calories on the rower going into a few other things. So I kind of looked at or remembered what I was trying to keep there. And then I was like, it's fewer calories. You get a little bit of a rest when you go in the bar. So I was like, I'm going to try to go a little bit faster than I went for those 50 calories. So that was my strategy. And obviously, like towards the end, it became a little bit slower maybe than I wanted to. But that's something that just happens.
You should know. Like, I mean, everything you do, you shouldn't always just go like with your pace for 400. You should know like what you row for calorie. You should know what are the watt that goes with. You just should know all that stuff when you work out.
Sure. Okay, I could pick your brains on it all night, but the community's got some questions for you guys too, so we're going to take one now from Instagram.
All right, Dave, this message is for you. We've all heard what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Is that true? Or do you think this workout is a good indicator for who's going to be on top of the podium come July?
Did you hear it? That was to you, directly.
I wasn't even paying attention.
All right,
let's
so
replay it.
You want to replay it, or should we recap it?
Let's replay it. I want to see his emotion, see what he was saying.
All right, here we go.
Feel it. I was asking them if they're going to drink their champagne.
Are you ready?
I was asking if they're going to drink their champagne, because if not, I'll have it.
All right, Dave, this message is for you. We've all heard what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Is that true? Or do you think this workout is a good indicator for who's going to be on top of the podium come July?
Oh, tough one.
This Open
Say no.
is a good indicator of who's going to be on top of the podium in July. The entire Open, all 5 weeks, all 6 workouts. That's what we look at. That's what's going to indicate. That gives me a sense of who's going to be the top performers and who's in a podium in July. And you know what? It looks very well likely that these 3 ladies might be on the podium in July.
What about you guys? You all train with really good athletes. Obviously, the company here excluded. What other names pop to mind for both this workout and then the race for the podium in July?
I think this workout, like seeing this workout announcing in my head, like Sam is going to win that. Maybe Carroll is going to come to the top, and Annie. Those are like my 3 pick. For the game, I think Annie, me, Sam, Bridgers, Michelle Letang, Carroll and Fouché.
Julie Fouché. I think Cara Webb's going to be hungry. Having to drop out last year, she's going to want to prove that where she was sitting wasn't a fluke, and she's coming back with a vengeance.
Is this as exciting for you guys as it is for fans, that you're all 3 back, Kara's going to be healthy, Julie's back for 1 more year? Does it pump you up?
For sure. I think it's like the female competition this year is going to be intense. Like,
why would it not be exciting?
I think there's so many really, really strong female athletes. So when someone asks me who I think is my biggest competition, it's like I can't name one name, which is kind of rare. When you think of it as usually like one person, but now it's like I feel like these, and then the names, all the names that Camille just said, like there's going to be a crazy strong competition. So I think it's going to be, if I was a spectator, I would be super excited. Me as a competitor, I am so excited to be a part of that mix.
We absolutely are. Let's take another one from the community, guys. We have another question coming from Instagram.
This question is for all the ladies. Just wondering, what's one component or one weakness that you've worked on over the last year that get you back onto the podium?
Sam's got a hand in the air.
Handstand walking.
Go, girl. What is it?
Handstand walking.
And it looked like you were doing great in rehearsal, and then Camille just came out of nowhere to make sure, bam, you were going to have that for long.
Yeah, I'm never going to be as fast or as efficient as a gymnast who's spent years on the hands, but I've been doing everything I can to be as comfortable as I can be upside down.
So that's only one thing. Did literally, was that the one takeaway, was that one movement, or what was the other lesson of missing the games last year for you?
Just everything, really. I think the biggest lesson was the games isn't everything. I still went to the games and supported my friends as much as I wanted to be there competing. It's not everything. I'm now at the top end of the age spectrum, so take every games and every competition as it's my last. Enjoy it, have fun, make the most of all the opportunities while I've got them.
Annie, we were talking about that yesterday. Your injury, you said you had so much more fun when your not that your expectations were lowered, but you were putting less pressure on yourself, and that led to your success, right?
Yeah, in a way. I think before my injury and before everything, I kind of just took it for granted. Like, I've always been a competitor. I'm going to keep on competing. I'm not used to being far down on the leaderboard. So in a way, I took it as a granted thing. Like, that was just who I was. And then getting injured, it kind of made me think about it a little bit differently. Like Sam said, like, appreciate all the competitions that we get to do. And then last year, I've never been able to kind of, appreciate it in that way. Obviously, I was there to try to win, but it was one event at a time. I was getting to compete against these girls. All the hard work is happening right now. Like, the pain, the suffering and training, that's throughout the year. Come that one weekend, you can't miss it. You need to just try to enjoy it, and that's kind of, I think, way better way of thinking about it.
Sure, and I mean, it was a different kind of adversity, but you had all top 10 finishes, then your worst year, came back from that, and it was a championship. What do you attribute that to? Same thing, your outlook?
I think for me that was just like a wake-up moment. Like, I know that's not the word, but it was, for me, it was just a slap in the face where it went from like being there is enough to like, I know I can do this, and that's enough of like letting myself not be what I know I can be. And it's funny because last year, like, I knew I could win. I didn't expect it to win, but my goal was like to enjoy it, like really do every workout and pass that line being like, heck yeah, like I gave it all, and I'm so proud of myself. So I think that's what changed with me the most.
Right on, guys. Let's take another one from Instagram. CrossFit Community has a question.
This question is for all the athletes. What song, when you're working out, do you just go all out?
That is some awesome move right there.
Pretty cute. All right, what's your jam, Annie?
Wow. I don't have a specific song. I have more just happy music. I never listen to like hardcore rock, rap, something like heavy metal thing, but I listen to happy songs, like songs from Frozen and Disney movies.
No, you don't. While you're working out?
People at my gym hate me for it, but they can't say anything.
Not now, it's not appropriate, but at some point we'll do the duet from Frozen, because I can do that now that I'm a parent. What's your jam? And you can explain the logic behind your walkout song.
So my walkout song is Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard. Boo, boo, boo. Because I'm sweet, but it's a badass song. So there's like two sides to it, so I'm very proud. It was that or a cherry pie, because I'm a little cherry pie, but I'm not a stripper, so I was like, that's too much.
Is it the same for working out? You listen to the same kind of stuff?
Yeah, I wish I was a little older in the 80s. I love like that, like old school rock stuff. Or like the cheesiest thing ever. Like, I know every song from Taylor Swift. Like, I live on that all the time. I'm just PR on Taylor Swift all the time, and Katy Perry, and I love it.
Nice. Yours is a little bit different, your walkout song, maybe a little bit more aggressive.
Well, my original walkout song was the Prodigy Smack My Up.
Smack your what up?
Can't say it when there's
your
little
hand?
ears.
Smack your hand?
Smack my up.
This isn't ESPN
High five.
or ABC. This is our stuff. You can do whatever you want.
There's little ears. Smack my bitch up. But Camille thought it was saying take my picture, so it kind of like defeated the object.
I think it does. Isn't that the second verse? No? All right.
We had an old conversation when we did our first open announcement, I was singing, "Take my picture," and Sam was like, "What are you singing?" I'm like, "It's Take My Picture, right?"
I'm like, no. You can believe that.
But is that your training? You go aggressive?
I have a wide variety of music taste, but when I'm working out, I prefer more of like a dance tune and some cheesy European trance sort of stuff. I like to switch off.
Right on. We actually have a question for you guys from someone here in the audience. So we're going to go to the crew at CrossFit Max Effort.
I've got Fane here from CrossFit St. Simons in South Georgia. Fane, what's your question?
First of all, great job, ladies. Such an inspiration to watch all of you tackle 15.5. My question is specifically for Annie in two parts. You always have such a great smile and always seem to be so positive mentally. One, how do you maintain that? And two, do you ever have a day where you struggle mentally and just have a bad day?
First question, I don't know why it happens. It happens.
It's not intentional.
No, it happens more often though when I'm in the front of other people, obviously because it's more fun that way. But yeah, it totally happens in training as well. I don't know, I kind of, as soon as the timer starts, like I'm super nervous, but as soon as the timer starts, I kind of just go into my own zone. And for some reason, like when it gets like super hard, it's kind of funny in a way for me that I'm actually doing this in so much pain, but I'm still enjoying it. So that just happens. The second question, yeah, if I'm always happy training, I definitely have my hard training days. I'm not gonna lie, like the training days where things feel heavy or my muscle ups aren't working out the way I wanted them to work out or something. It's definitely hard, but then I make sure that I always do something in the end that I enjoy doing, like that I'm happy with and enjoy. That way I kind of make sure that I'm always enjoying training. I still get the butterflies and like excitement.
So Dave, I know before we move on, it's a little change of subject, but you want to pass out some thank yous, and let's do that now.
Yeah, real quick, I'd like to give a big thanks to Zach and Lindsay from CrossFit Max Effort for hosting us. You guys are great. Amazing. Thank you for everything. And DJ Lucky Lou, the man who traveled with us for 5 weeks, giving us the beats of the Open. Big round of applause for Vegas resident, LA resident, Lucky Lou.
I got a question for you guys. Annie's the only one that competed in Aromas, but how cool was it for you guys to see the champions that won the first 4 years? Is that kind of does that resonate with you guys?
I thought it was super cool that you guys invited them and have all the game champ here. Like,
how long have you been a fan? Like, were you paying attention back then in 07, 08, 09?
Well, so I started like literally at the end of 09. So 010 was my first year of CrossFit. And I just remember like at my first CrossFit game, everyone was like, "Oh my God, Chris Clever is the favorite, Chris Clever." And she was literally sitting next to me. And I was like, "Who's Chris Clever?" And she was like right there. And I just remember that when I watched back in 2009, Tanya, Wagner, and then Chris Clever was there in 2010. I was so impressed by those ladies. I was like, "Oh my God, they can do it all." It was amazing. And I was like, I don't know how one day I could be as good as they are. And it's just so cool to like look back, and I was so inspired by those girls, and I still am.
Right on. They're actually going to come out in a second. We're going to do one more Instagram question before we talk to the past champs.
Dear Camille and Annie, we want to thank you and all other CrossFit women for being such a great example for young girls like us. Good luck, and how long until we have biceps like Briggs?
Right on.
That was cute.
That was cute. So how long till they can get biceps like Briggs? How do you do it? How do you get that swole?
I've cheated tonight. I've put a little sweatband on, cutting the circulation off.
That's all it takes?
I tried. It didn't work.
Tell me real quick your Aroma story, because it was a different story then. Like the judging, first of all, it's always been professional. But remember back then, you were working to get your first muscle up, couldn't do it, and Chuck Carswell literally did like a jump kick when you first got your first muscle up. He was so excited. But
yeah,
different experience back then.
It was definitely different, and I'm so grateful that I actually got to compete there. I did not know what CrossFit was when I competed in 2009. I had about 2 months to try to like figure out the movements and know what we were doing, and it was crazy. I went there to compete, and I had the girls I was competing against, they were like helping me. I didn't know what a snatch was. We had a 1 rep max snatch, and I started warming up my clean and jerk, and then I panicked when I saw the girls do something else, and they were like, it's okay, just hold a wider grip and just get it up in one movement. And like all of a sudden I was in second place going into the final event, and I didn't know what a muscle up was. And Tanya Wagner, she was actually in first place competing against me kind of for the first spot there. And she was like trying to help me to get muscle ups. I'm like, it makes no sense. And that made me kind of fall in love with the CrossFit community. I was like, screw all the other sports, I am doing this. Yeah. So that was my first experience with CrossFit, and I don't think it could have been any better.
Yeah, and if you guys have never seen the video content of Annie at the 2009 games and Tanya as well, learning muscle ups, learning GHDs, learning a snatch, it was spectacular. You should go see it. Let's talk about the future real quick. Regionals are right around the corner. How do you guys prepare now? The Open's over. Sam, clearly just did a little bit of celebration first.
Yeah, this Opens has been a hard one for me, being injured the week of the first announcement, so I'm staying in Vegas until Sunday, so I'm going to take full advantage of being in Vegas this weekend.
Game on.
And then after a short little break, Monday is going to be concentrating on rebuilding. Obviously I've not been able to lift for the last 4 weeks, so concentrate on rebuilding and getting my strength back in time for regionals, because I will need it.
What do you do from here, Camille? What's next?
I'm gonna have my final at school soon, so I'll try to just work as hard as I can between that. But I'll be more like, as soon as my finals are done, I'll be like full-on training mode and just keep doing pretty much exactly what I'm doing right now. I mean, train hard and try to get better.
I'm gonna relax a little bit now, and then I'm going to CrossFit HQ, and I'm super excited about seeing that finally. And now there's actually enough time to keep on working on strength. Like throughout my injury, I wasn't able to work a lot of my leg strength, so I'm still gonna try to work on that, get that up to what I kind of needed to be at. And I'm just excited that I can just train perfectly normal, keep on working on weaknesses, and then get ready, try to build up the engine a little bit. I've been working more on strength, so now it's kind of the engine work is starting to start kicking in, which is the work that kind of sucks the most. But yeah, it's gonna feel good at that point.
Engine looked good tonight, just saying. Dave, any final thoughts? I don't want to beat a dead horse, but do you want to reiterate why the regional changes and what you expect to see this year? More competition?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the changes with the regionals. There's some people that are being left out that were at the games last year and at regionals, and I should say I'm sorry, but I'm actually not. The level of competition that's going to get to the regionals is going to be intense. It's going to be great, and the people who get there are the best in the world. And so it's going to be great for all of us who are fans, and it's going to be great for the competitors, because come July at the games, we're going to have the fittest athletes in the world there, and I'm excited about that.
Right on, Will.